with Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020. Today, I know it's Sunday, so I don't really know how many people are going to catch the stream, but last week we did pro football. It's been almost 2 full weeks since we got a college basketball episode in, so I'm really excited to see how this season goes. I know it's for sure, one way or another, this is about the turning point. So either this season goes well and, we have a nice, long, successful career with the Cornhuskers, or this season goes poorly and I get fired right on the verge of rebuilding them. You guys could see from the last stream, we were, Tulane is just rocking and rolling, so we obviously know how to build it. We're working on it here, but we got to get through this season. So, and again, I understand, it's Sunday. People might not catch us live, but hopefully it gets up on YouTube and you guys can at least see what happens here. I usually either do recruiting or games. Let me see if I can adjust this real quick. It's kind of driving me nuts. I don't know if that's better or not. Usually, we just do either recruiting or games. But this time, since it's been a while, I'll see how it goes. No promises. It depends on how much screaming I hear going on upstairs and all that good stuff. Done all the honey-do list, so hopefully I've bought myself some time. But there's just no real telling. Wow, I'm just now seeing Jolly's in an awful mood. If this dude, I don't think I'm to transfers yet. I don't think he'll transfer out, though. All right, but yeah, no promises. I don't know how far we'll go tonight. We'll at least get through the recruiting for sure, and then I'm interested to see how the season goes. We might play some, we might not. We might play the whole thing. Just totally dependent on life. So, hope you guys enjoy it. So here we are, June 26th. Time to get recruiting. We've already done all of our travel plans. We've already done all of our buying reports, all that good stuff. We got 2 scholarships this year. Let's see where we want to spend those. All right, we know Jolly's solid, so point guard's locked down. And we've got another freshman right behind him, so I'm assuming that's all right. Duncan here at shooting guard. A freshman in behind him. That's all right. Hart and Bulware. Bulware just got a terrible rating, but at least we've got 2 on scholarship. So here we go, junior, sophomore, freshman. We got a lot of power forwards. And then just 1 freshman center. So I think 1 center and probably either a small forward or a guard. We'll see how it goes. What's up, people? We do have some people on here. We got 5 viewers in the stream right now. Glad you guys could make it on a Sunday. Kind of came out of nowhere. I've been wanting to get this up, but, it's just been one of those things I didn't know how it was going to work out, and suddenly the timing just worked. So I messaged Chris. I'm like, yo, we're going to go. And here we are. So looking like we really need a big man, hopefully a center, and then some other type of guard. Just to get, I like to have 5 guards in the mix, but also that small forward position looking pretty thin. So I believe I've been buying the Great Plains and Western region reports. So first of all, let's take a quick look in state, see what kind of targets we've got in the great state of Nebraska. Here we go. We need the full recruiting list. And we'll take a look here. All positions. So no interest out of these top guys. There is a 5-star guard with a pretty good GPA. So seeing as how his GPA is decent, we're going to throw him on our list, even though he's not all that excited about us. Same here with Markel Orr. Looked like Michael Orr. I thought it was going to be the dude from The Blind Side for a minute, but we're going to throw him on a list as well. That gives us 2 in-state recruits. Let's see what is going on in the Great Plains region. Really don't have, outside of Texas and Kansas, too much competition out here. So let's just take a look at this whole region and see what's cracking. So a handful of top 25 guys. We're going to throw them all on our list. Except for the low GPA guys. I mean, nobody has interest, and that's fine. We're chasing guys that clearly have no interest. We're hoping to grab some of them. Same as we've always done. I'm not going to worry about it whatsoever. Let's go position by position here. Center is definitely where we want to start, though. Whew. All right, so he's got a terrible GPA, but he is a JUCO. So I would assume he would come in as a junior, and then our other would be a sophomore. He's decently rated, but I'm not going down that road. That's not where we're at. If we can survive this season, we don't need those type of players taking up positions. Murphy's already on a list. 2.5 is close to risky. I'm not sure about that. Let's keep on down the road here. Small forward, he should be on the list already. Freddie Brown, we're skipping with the 2.4. And then these 4-star guys with decent GPAs, they're going on a list. See what we're looking like at guard. And we're not really filling up here, so we're going to have more than enough room to... Ooh, a 2.1. That's atrocious. Man, I might have to throw some of these JUCO guys on lists. Let's add him. We'll have to see. I honestly can't remember. It's been, like I said, 2 weeks since I've streamed on this one, so I honestly cannot remember. I know I had considered throwing in the Midwest into my rotation of buying reports and visiting camps and whatnot. Let's make sure. I don't think we're adding enough players to have to worry about this. So let's just go ahead and add. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and add Reese. 2.5's borderline, but we'll give it a shot. Got another 5-star shooting guard here out of California. Handful of 4-star players. And then we can always come back and add, some 3-star guys from within region if we see some guys really standing out at camp or something like that. Because we're going to be far from a full list here, that's for sure. Ooh, look at the power forwards out west. Utah. Wow. 2 of the top 3 players in the nation, and 2 of them are power forwards. Utah bringing the heat with the power forwards. That's for sure. The whole western region is kind of going heavy at that 4 spot. And then with the centers, they do have the number 1 overall center out west. And then only 1 other 4-star guy, and then we back off. So let's hop back over real quick to the Great Plains. Throw in a couple of these JUCOs that we skipped over the first time. Let's just go all positions. I know there was another JUCO that was pretty highly rated. He may have been a small forward. He was a shooting guard. Oh, and we got a power forward there. All right, and then we can take a look. I honestly don't remember if I got a report on international guys or not. Let's see. Since we desperately need centers, we'll go ahead and add those centers on there. I'm going to try to avoid them when I'm doing visits and that sort of thing just because they're so super expensive, but let's see what happens with this kind of recruiting list. Like I said, we're shooting for the stars. If we fall a little short, we should still get some quality guys, and then when we go into those camps, if there's other players that we need to add in, we can go ahead and do that at that time. But this is a decent list. It's a good place to start from. So we'll get our film. Got all our film in. Nice. And let's jump out and get some visits. If anybody will actually come. I doubt we're getting anybody from outside the region. Ooh, we got Jake Owens. He was the in-state guy. So that makes a lot of sense. In-state guys are almost always going to come. Al Blake's coming. We're skipping the international for now. That's quite expensive. All right, so we're on Eric Smith. I'm scrolling and trying to be a little bit more careful so I make sure to dodge these internationals. And Lynn Canty, a center from this region. So that's looking good. None of these guys have interest yet, so I'm not going to waste my time with phone calls. We're going to go ahead and get moving here. We ought to be able to see some national camps pretty soon. Whew. Man, I'm so excited to get into this season. I know I usually don't get to it, but if I can manage, I would really like to do it tonight. Because sometime this next week, I'm hoping to bring another pro football game. So we had some good visits. Jake Owens wasn't crazy about it, and he's the in-state guy, so that does kind of hurt. Normally, I would just immediately remove him, but being that he's in state, I'll let my recruiter keep on him, see if there's any chance we turn his mind around. He still does not want to come. All right, let's see. Oh wait, first let's get this summer camp. See what these national camps look like. So we can jump in for guys in any of the three of these camps. To be quite honest, I've had plenty of great players come out of the Great Plains. All right, so we actually went to East Coast Jam. Markel Orr and Mario Amons were there. We got the West Camp too. So let's see how these two guys did first. Orr did not stand out. And Amons was all right. He was all right. Out of Montana, I think. I don't know, is that Great Plains or is that West? He's a small forward, so it would be a nice pickup for us for sure. What are we looking at here? Where's Amons? So he is out of the Western region, but he looked pretty good. See if he wants to come in. Nope, does not. Sure don't. That was just grabbing some film on these folks. All right, Haskins and Orr will come. All right, so we still got one of those left. Let's run through this other camp, and then we'll come around to the last visit and see if we can't get some info on some of these phone calls. Oh shoot, I never even looked through the national camp recap. All right, so Mosley, Reeves out of California, Miles out of Colorado. Some Miles and Reeves looking good at Indy. That's the top camp. We didn't actually attend that one. We went to East Coast Jam. So, guy out of Kentucky, Brian Ash. I'll sometimes they'll change their mind. I never hit the button like 1,000 times in 1 week on the same guy. I'll try the same guy, every week for a number of weeks in a row. But, so nobody in the top 5 at East Coast Jam actually out of our region. All right, so we got a Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, right here, Ryan Hill. Sean Mason out of Kansas. So Sean Mason and Ryan Hill. We want to add both those players if their GPAs are realistic. Sean Mason and Ryan Hill. Sean Mason and Ryan Hill. I think both were Great Plains. Full list. There's Ryan Hill. And his GPA is a 2.1, so that's a hard pass. And Sean Mason is a 2.4. God, that's awfully borderline, but we'll go ahead and throw him on a list. I mean, we know, if he's showing out at these national camps, it's worth a shot. We've only got the 2 scholarships. He'll probably not be where we end up, but get back to all regions. Scroll on down here, and we can pick it up. Ooh, that international's actually got some interest. We're going to go ahead and pass him up. Orr is already coming in. Amons is already not coming in. So we'll pick up here on our hosting. I'm on Williams. We're actually at the bottom of the list. And Mason will visit. Cool. Yeah, 2.1 GPA. I'm not going for 2.1 GPA. Just not going to happen. There's no way. I've seen him qualify, certainly, but the odds are not in your favor if you go out recruiting guys like that. So we're not going to do it. We're going to grab some film on some of these other fine folks. And then we can make a couple of calls here because we do have a little bit of interest. So that's always nice to have interest after the in-home visits. And, now you can call these guys back, and I will do that. Because my coach's ability is getting up there. I should be able to get quite a bit of information out of these guys without being hung up on too awfully much, I would hope. Come on, give me that last little bit. Yeah. What are your parents like, my man? Not in the mix. Might change over time, though. Might change over time. Love to hear that. All right, so we got Al Blake. Let's see what Dryden has to say. So close. All right, 10% of our time left. I'm just going to go on ahead, skip ahead. And and then we can catch our Great Plains camp, I believe. Ooh, look at that interest up there. It's picking up. Picking up. Let's see. Mason said it was cool or appreciated it, and Haskins not worthwhile. Okay. All right. So here is the Las Vegas review. So let me see if I can't write these guys down real quick. Because if I can grab these guys, because our lists are relatively short, if I can grab them, I'm going to do it. So we got a small forward, Henson. Point guard, Kyle Geyer. Small forward, Jamar Perry. Small forward, Chris D'Elia. And point guard, Randy McCoy. So there are our top 5. Let's take a quick look. We can see how some of our guys did. All right, so Randy McCoy was already on the list. He got top 5. Who else out of our list did anything? Amons didn't do anything. So he was decent at East Coast Jam and decent at Vegas. So he's kind of on the back end. He's a bit of a borderline guy. I mean, at least he was consistent, but he's not anything. He's not standing out anywhere. Henry Dryden, not spectacular. All right, so let's see if we can grab any of these guys. If any of them have a decent GPA, we'll add them to the list. If not, we will forge ahead. Western region. Let's go point guard first. And McCoy was the only one there. Never mind. Let's jump over to the small forward. We got 2 of them. Oh, I'm sorry. There was another point guard. Geyer was also on the list. Kyle Geyer right here. He's got a 2.8. He's on our list. Now he's on our list. We just added him. Small forwards, Sean Henson and Jamar Perry. So there's Sean Henson. He's got the 2-1. That's not happening. Jamar Perry right here has got a 3-1. He's only ranked at a 2-star, but we are adding him to the list. And then Chris D'Elia. Another 2-star guy. Another one on the list. All right, so that's everybody out of the West. Let's run our Midwest. See how that goes. So here's our guys that were at the Midwest. We could go through that slowly if we'd like. Let's see. Haskins is already on our list. He was actually the MVP, so looking good there. Lynn Canty, Joe Spruill. Lynn Canty's on the list. Spruill is not. Point guard Quentin Andrews is on the list. And small forward Bernard Noyola is not. So we are looking for Spruill and Noyola. Spruill and Noyola. In the Great Plains. I believe Noyola was the small forward. There he is. Another 2-star guy. Added to the list. And Spruill 3.1. All right, folks, that should be for our region and for the West. That should be everything that we're going to be going after. So we can go back to all regions. We can go back to all positions. We can scroll through here, see who, if anyone, is willing to come on in for a visit now. We're still skipping the internationals. That'll be a thing where, like, if we have the budget later on. All right, Stephen Williams. Gonna come check out Lincoln, Nebraska. Love to see it. Beautiful town. Lynn Canty. He's gonna come on down. And no, McCoy doesn't want to do it. Who else wants to come? Is he already there? Or is he coming in for a second visit now? Is that what I actually accidentally did? I'm not certain. Scout a handful of these guys live. Generate a little bit of interest here. Go check out these 5-star players. You know, they want to feel the love. Let's call up our 5-star from within region. Adrian Miles. Small forward action. What do you think about playing time? Yeah. Come on. Alright, lots of good stuff unlocked there. Lots of ammunition for our in-home visit, if we're able to make one with him. Blake, we've unlocked. We're holding off on these internationals for the moment. Center-wise, I'll hold off on that for a moment, because I want to go talk to Canty. Canty was top 5 at Houston. He's within region. That's definitely, center-wise, this is probably, unless I get some really bad notes on him, this is probably one of our 2 offers. And I may offer him anyway. We'll just have to see how that actually works out. So that takes care of recruiting for this week. We'll get a camp going here. Then we'll hit our dead period. And we'll be moving on. I'm not going to worry about the camp results from the Midwest. I'll save the email so I can go check it later if I absolutely have to, but see how these visits went. Cool visit, cool visit. All right, they all liked it, so that's good stuff, certainly. Oh, dead period. Dead period. Reeves. He doesn't have any interest. He probably only went to Indy. So we don't have any camp information on him. Do we really need... Yeah, we'll watch film on these JUCOs, I guess. We do need some information on them, because they're not going to be at any of our camps. We're not going to get any feedback on them at all outside of really their rating, their stats, that sort of thing. So film's good on those guys. Let's go ahead and skip through this dead period. Man, only having to go after 2 guys. Hopefully this is a nice, easy recruiting period, and we can blast straight on into games relatively quickly. That'd be fun. Alright, getting through the last couple of summer camps here. Let's spam on through here. Alright, so Miles is going to come in for a visit. Good to see, good to see. Still skipping internationals. Oh, that was the JUCO. He's going to come in. Dryden does not want to come. Skip more. Ooh, look at Canty. He's real nice and warm on us. Love to see that. Oh. Wasn't paying any attention and just invited, or I think for the 3rd time, to be quite honest. He didn't really stand out anywhere. I don't have a ton of interest in him, but we just keep inviting him because I keep clicking on him. So we need to avoid that in the future. Let's go check him out. Let's go check out Miles. He's within region. He's at a position that we need. Let's go check out Owens again. You know, he didn't have fun on his visit. Whatever, let's give it a go. Let's see, Canty, did we unlock everything on him? No. So that is a huge priority. Let's ask him about his folks. I always ask him about the parents. I don't know how much I really get out of it, but I always feel like it's more realistic. Maybe, if I'm asking about their parents, they realize I got some interest. It's a superstitious thing for me. So I like to ask them about the parents. Unless I'm like still real early and my coach is terrible at recruiting and I'm just going to get hung up on, then I never bother. But once I get a little bit better, I start going ahead and asking about the parents. Do we have everything on Miles? Everything but location. Let's see what he thinks about location. It's one of the things he's considering. Might as well call the #1 recruit in the nation. Ooh, he likes playing time. Oh, he could work harder. Oh, we're not pulling the number 1 guy. Nah, he's outside of region. He's outside of state. Nah, no. Don't waste time there. Oh, man. I guess I could at least call this guy. I mean, I know he's a JUCO, but can't hurt to have a little bit more information, right? How's your parents, buddy? I'm not... Everybody's like, oh, you're not really in the mix right now, but that could change. Yeah, we'll see. All right, we're through July. That's usually the longest part. Let's get August. Oh, no, we got one more. One more day in July. There's Memphis, we're not worried about. Big Apple, we're not worried about. Orr loved it. He enjoyed it. He didn't. Miles did not think it was worthwhile. All right, that's fine. Look at Blake. Al Blake with the warm interest from Kansas. Big on location. Top 25 at Houston. So that would be a pretty big get for us. I mean, even though we've already got a point guard, like I wanted another guard or a small forward. I'll go either way on that. Small forward wise, Miles did not have a good time. Haskins. How did Haskins do? He doesn't have any interest. He was MVP at Houston, though. Dang, man, I wish he was interested. He would be good. What's up, Breeze? How's it going, buddy? So Haskins doesn't want to come on another visit. That's fine. I'll probably hold off on visits for a minute. What we are going to do is go ahead. Lynn Canty. We'll see if we got any negative information about him. Now, he doesn't get in the post that often, which is interesting from a big man. And the stats don't jump off the page, but, you know, usually the camps don't lie. We need somebody on the inside. Lynn Canty's our man there. Between small forward and guard, we can keep looking. But Canty's going to be my man right out of the gate. Let's see here. Between small forward and guard, what am I looking at? What was Haskins? MVP at Houston, that's right. And no interest. Perfect. Let's take a look. Let's go position by position. Let's check out small forwards. See if we can get somebody to come in. And this is actually, you know, this is a position where we got all these guys that did well in the Georgia camp. So it's like, you know, that third tier camp, but these guys will be good players somewhere. Hopefully. So that was a small forwards. Take a look here at shooting guards real quick. And point guards. No interest in any more visits. Let's skip this week. I don't feel like sitting on the phone the whole time. Can Canty shoot outside? Canty's a center. Let me take a look real quick. And I don't know that I need him to shoot outside so much as I need him to shoot. Wait, I've got a couple of saves going. Let's see what we're running here. We're running flex in Princeton. So, yeah, even if he's not getting into the post, you know, he'll be all right. We just need players. Trying to fix an OTP glitch. What'd you find? While I'm waiting on Breeze. Let's see if... I know Nebraska doesn't have anybody in here, obviously. But look at that. Jeremy Simmons, my man from Tulane. He was one of my recruits. He ought to be a junior now. Brian Cole, another one of my recruits from Tulane. All right, so two of my recruits still up on the Norton list. And my boy Simmons is way up on the Norton list. I think he won a lot of awards last year. So I'm actually a little bit surprised he wasn't higher. Oh, we want to check out Canty and his ability to shoot. So his inside shooting's an A, his outside shooting's a B. So yeah, he can stretch it out a little bit. He can't hit free throws, but he can score. Good passing and handling for a big man. Real good rebounding. Pretty good shot blocking. Not much of an athlete. So that's, a little bit concerning, but I'll take it. We're at Nebraska. We'll take what we can get. If we can land a guy like this that was top 5 of a regional camp, that's absolute gold. When you're recruiting at a school that's in the 30s and 40s in prestige. Yeah, if he's Dirk, I've won. Trust me there. All right, so he loves us, but he was just awful at camps. Haskins and Miles would be better, but they have no interest. And so then you start looking like, do you want somebody that was decent at a couple of the big camps or somebody that was top 5 at one of the smaller camps? See if maybe it might just come down to interest, like who's got the most interest in coming. Sonoyola, why doesn't he want to visit? He's got interest. He's within region. Why does a guy like that not want to come check us out? That's weird. Let's call up Perry and Noyola. Yeah, his free throws are bad. That's truth right there. His free throws are bad. All right, so we got some info on Perry. And the other thing is when you get down this low, especially these 3 guys, when you get down this low, these ratings can change by 200 or 300 spots. These stars can go up and down like crazy. I'm not worried about that. Tibbetts even is kind of borderline. When you get top 200, the ratings are a little bit more static. And then, guys like Miles and Haskins, their ratings aren't going to change by more than 5 or 10 spots at the most. So you pretty much know what you're getting up here. It's just that they're not wanting to come to my school. All right, so yeah, I already spammed through this, right? We were going to call... Tibbetts is coming. We're going to call Noyola, unlock some info on him, and there's what Random Task was talking about. I'm pretty sure I'd already offered Noyola once, right? And then the second time he decides to take the visit. So that's an interesting little tidbit. I don't think I've tried that in the past. See how that worked out. I didn't think it was worthwhile. Oh, that was Tibbetts, not Noyola. My bad. So none of the small forwards want to come in. Shooting guards. Whew. Look at Joel Hayes. And then Mason. Mason was one of the... He was top 10 at Houston. He was one of the top players at Georgia as well. So here we got a guy with a lot of interest that's done well in a couple of the camps. Over here at small forward, we keep getting either not a lot of interest or not doing good at camps. We can't get them both. Here we got both in Sean Mason. So let's get his information unlocked. Oh, let's call him back real quick so we can be done with these phone calls. Speed it on through to the in-home visit portion of the recruiting so that we can hopefully get into some games tonight. I'd really like to get to some games. All right, we're not in the mix. Check. GPA check. Oh, he's the 2-4. No, don't be a 2-4. Come on, dude. All right, well. Hayes. Not a lot of interest. Or has the interest. God, look at Jamar Perry, only averaging 10 points a game. That's pretty brutal. Okay, we don't have... Let's throw some more film on these guys. And you know what? We're kind of honing in on... We're kind of honing in on the players that we want. We don't have a ton of guys that we're going after this year. So if one of the internationals was willing to come on a visit, I would have been all right with it. But they don't appear to be. We can call this one up. I don't know why I ask internationals about location. I always shacked in a fool in Canty. He's shacked in a fool, Canty. If he ends up committing anytime he has a bad game, I will say he's shacked in a fool. Just for you, Breeze. I always like the contributions from the chat, you know me. We need to decide on this last scholarship pretty soon. So look at Al Blake. He's got warm interest. He's from Kansas. How was his top 25 at Houston? We don't have info on his other camp. He likes location, conference prestige, and facilities. He's not worried as much about school prestige. He's really big on location. I think we could go after this guy. Not great as far as a score, but look at the assists per game. Rebounds per game aren't bad for a point guard, although all these guys seem to be rebounding. Steals per game's a 5.2. I think this is I'd rather offered a 2 or a 3, but this right here is our other offer. So we can now see if any of these other guys would like to come on visits. Yeah, Diggs will come. Cool. All right, we got our 2 offers out, though. Let's make sure we got everything unlocked. And let's blaze right on into these in-homes, guys. Toby Moore averaging a double-double. Was he one of the JUCOs or a high schooler? He's the international. Okay. Yeah, there's a handful of these guys averaging double-doubles in here. Sometimes with the internationals, you don't get the camp data, so you don't have as good a feel for it. And it's also more questionable as to their competition. Like if Lynn Canty is playing ball in like Chicago or New York City, and these international guys are playing in Australia and Greece, I don't know how that level of competition translates. Clearly, Desmond Reeves is ridiculous. But does he want to come? No. Anybody? No. All right, we're skipping ahead. But yeah, double-double. I'll definitely always fall back on those stats for sure, as well as hopefully we don't have to fall back to option B there at center. But if we have to, I'll also go over and take a look at scouted ratings and really hone in on inside scoring, rebounding, and defense for a big man. Those are just the ones that I typically like to look at. So here's Diggs. He appreciated it, so we didn't turn him off. So we got to go one more week. Let's make one more Hail Mary. Anybody want to visit? Any of you small forwards? Anybody change your mind? No. Not changing any minds. Not changing any hearts. Y'all are missing out. We're going to be shucking corn over here real soon. All right. Let's do it. Whew. In-home visits. Favorite part of the game. First piece of good news. Nothing in our inbox. That means none of the 2 guys that we offered committed without at least hearing us out. So, Mr. Blake, his parents and he both want to hear about location. That's what we're going to be chatting about. We can visit a shooting guard. Oh, let's see. Hayes is a JUCO. We can visit Mason. He'll probably be, if I can't grab Blake, Mason's probably my backup, and then we just cross our fingers that he hits his GPA. And he also really wants to hear about location, and we're in his top 10, so that's a good call. Let's get Lynn Canty on the schedule. We're in his top 5. All right, so he would like to hear about location first and foremost. Let's give the man what he wants to hear. And then let's bounce over to small forward. Let's make a run at... Oh, hold on. Who was it from Nebraska? Jake Owens from Nebraska. And I don't guess... Let's call Owens up, see if we can unlock anything. I mean, he's within state. 5 minutes, man. Do you want to hear about... Location. Very important. Playing time, he doesn't care. Conference prestige. Team prestige. Let's see what he was biggest on. It seems like location from his answers. Yeah. I mean, he likes school prestige too, so that seems like a Kansas recruit to me, but let's at least go talk to the man. He's willing to let us talk to him. Let's give it a go, right? So, to the inbox. To the next week. See if we get one of these guys to commit. Lynn Canty has already made a decision. It's terrifying and positive all at the same time. Thought it went well. Mason really likes it. So Owens thought it was all right. Lynn Canty will be a Cornhusker. Yes, sir. That's a big one. I like that. So Lynn Canty is going to be the future of this school's inside basketball. It's going to be a presence, apparently not in the post, but other. Oh, look. Jake Owens headed to the Ville, baby. All right. I can live with that. Let's go take a look here, see what Al Blake is thinking. We're still not in his top 10, so that's not a great look. We'll try one more week on him, though. We can also now kind of focus here on guards and small forwards, for sure. Let's go and talk to Haskins. He's got no interest, though. So he's in Oklahoma. Let's just give him some location, see what he thinks about that. That's two of them. Or doesn't excite me at all. So we're sort of looking. Oh, that's right. Mason is the other one that we want to look. We're number one on his list. A talented player that could work harder. I'm not crazy about that. But he was top 10 and he's really into location. Whew. Man, do we continue the pursuit of Blake? No. We do not. We're not in his top 10 at all. After a week of in-home visits, we're not in his top 10. This guy's got us sitting at number 1. The only thing I'm really, really concerned about is when you jump to number 1 on somebody's list that quickly, it always, like, if I already had questions about his grades, now I've got huge concerns about his grades. So this is terrifying. It's been a long, long time since I recruited somebody that didn't qualify, just because I got a pretty good eye at spotting them, and this one is there's a really good chance he ends up not qualifying. But I feel like, based on the roster that we've already brought in, when we look at these guys, I'm looking at Jolly. We know he's solid. If you watched the last stream, we're all over that. We know Duncan is solid. We know Hart is solid. We've got our starters back here as long as none of them are transferring out or getting hurt or that sort of thing. And then we've got a handful of guys that we recruited last year to come in behind them. So we're all right back here. The one we needed to nail was Canty here on the inside. We need some inside players for certain. So I'm all right taking a shot here with a player that, looks like a pretty good bet to commit. And we'll just see what happens on the grades. So, all that being said, we'll also keep in touch with these guys down here, because these are the kind of guys that could potentially stick around. We'll just, throw out conference prestige. I think that was the one he was relatively high on. See what our scheduling looks like. Oh, you watched Chris's Pro Basketball 21 video? That's awesome. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I've been busy, busy with life and busy with trying to get some content of my own up and going. So I didn't get a chance to watch that. I'm glad to hear it looks good, though. I know Chris, first of all, I know the guys at Draft Day Sports put in a ton of work, but I know Chris was really jumping in and trying to help out with that as well. So I'm really excited to see that, and I'm interested to see how many of those things that they're adding to pro basketball translate over into college basketball. We lost out. No, we never offered. That was dumb. Not the first time I've done that. Won't be the last. You gotta make sure you actually offer. Blake's still warm even after pulling that offer. That's kind of a shocker. We'll visit him again. I mean, there's no reason he can't come back onto the radar. I know Geyer. He's big into location, though. Ugh. How did our small forwards look? Looks like Delio liked it. Mason liked it. Haskins doesn't care. Haskins, we can move on from Haskins. All right, we've got 2 of our visits set up. Let's go and talk to... I guess we go talk to DeLea and Noyola. Noyola, definitely. He's in region. We'll throw in some location. And we'll give you some facilities. I think we talked to him about conference prestige last time. We obviously don't have that unlocked on him, so that might have been incorrect, but we'll see what happens here. Let's see if Mason doesn't commit. I bet he commits right away as soon as he got the offer, because nobody else is recruiting him. He's not going to qualify. We'll take a flyer, though. Oh, man. Here's the decision. He's coming. I'd be more excited about it, but I really don't think he'll qualify. If he qualifies, though, I'm throwing a party. Because then, that's going to be two more just huge recruits to add into this. So now, guys, now it's full speed ahead. We've only been up for about 45 minutes. I think we can get through, if not all of this season, we ought to be able to get through at least some of it. We can go ahead and delete emails because we're ready for ball games now. Let's get out there on the court and make it happen. Let's take a look at our depth real quick. Make sure that our roster is set up the way that we want it to get out there into these games. Of course. Ooh, Kraft, Piper, Kofi Williams. Kraft, I don't believe, was one of my recruits, was he? He was not. No, wait. No, he was not. How did he play last year? Don't remember right off the top of my head. So he got about 20 minutes a game. He was all right. Nothing special. Kofi Williams, the Frosh. Yeah, we're going to throw him into the mix for real. Kraft can be the first guy in. Let's go ahead and suggest a matrix based off of this. And I can live with this. All right, cool. So we got the roster corrected. Let's get some ball games going, folks. Let's see what happens. See if we can save our job. Let's take one quick look here at our coach, at our job security. I think I'm around like 30%, maybe 40%. It's not looking good. 20%, yeah, okay. We're at 20%, so it's absolutely do or die here. We got to qualify for the NIT, finish in the top half of the conference, finish above 500, and improve school prestige. Most times, if you just hit 2 out of these 4, you're going to be all right. But our job security is at 20. We need to hit at least 3 of these, in my opinion, to feel good about it. If we could finish, I think finishing top half of the conference is probably the toughest out of these. In my opinion, we should have qualified for the NIT last year. So I feel pretty good about that. All these guys, all these freshmen that we're playing outside of Kofi Williams, all the freshmen that we played last year are now sophomores. So they got another year of coaching, another year of development. I expect to be improved from last year. So unless last year was a total fluke, I think NIT is doable this year. I certainly expect to be 500. And then it's just about, like, what games do you win? How do you do in the postseason? Can you improve that prestige? And if we do if they play like I would expect them to, we should be in the NIT, no problem. But I'm always constantly surprised. I'm always always surprised. We're not redshirting anyone. We can keep going. Getting some scouting reports coming in. Ooh, I'm getting excited. I've been waiting for this. 'Cause the whole time, there was I know if y'all been following this series, there was a handful of schools I wanted to get to. Nebraska was one of them that I thought would be cool to end up at. So I got here, and then my job security is such trash. I've been waiting to get to this stream, to these games, for a while now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out tonight. I'm excited for it. I hope that it goes well. I really do, because they're not going to give me another season if this doesn't go well. And it's a shame because we are set up. I've got them set up to really start competing in this conference. But, if they fire me, I would understand it. We move on to the next project. It's not going to happen, though. We're going to make a hat. We're shucking corn. I don't know if that's how... I have no idea how you shuck corn, but this is the way I imagine it. So we got San Diego on the road right out of the gate. The Toreros. Let's see how it goes. Cross those fingers. Well, we got beat down on the road, so not a great start. But it's on the road. I'm not going to lose my mind about that. I don't think they're a terrible team. They're certainly not a good team. I would much rather have lost by 10 than 20, but you can have a bad game on the road. We got a lot of youth on our team. We did lose an upperclassman off of last year's team, I believe, that was definitely a big part of things. But now we got Bradley at home. Now, if we're going to make things happen, these are the kind of games that we definitely need to win, and I don't care if they win by 1, you just have to win here. The Bradley Braves. Oh, yeah. Duncan Williams, Hart. Look at the freshman putting up 17. Duncan drops 15, grabs 6 rebounds. We take care of Bradley quite comfortably, so that's definitely good news. This may actually be... Oh, Mason signed his LOI. That means he's going to qualify. Wow. All right, yeah, we are moving forward with that recruiting class on top of what we already got here. If I survive this season, Nebraska's taking over the Big Ten. Guarantee it. That's a Cards promise. Just like I told you when I made it over the hump at Tulane, or was that Florida A&M? I don't remember which one it was. When I was like, all right, we're good to go now. We're good to go if I can get past this season. That's the only thing I'm worried about right now is surviving this season. Past that, it's all good to go. Guarantee it. And those are 2 real good players we just picked up. Ooh, Cincinnati. We get them at home, so that's a good thing. But Cincinnati's a tough program. Tough program. This would be a very, very big win. Cincinnati's very much a team that should be competing for the NCAA tournament. So a win here would be massive for us. Yes! Shuck that corn, boys. Awesome. Man, those are the kind of wins that we need to be getting. Now I feel great about this season. And I feel great about the season. I feel great about keeping this job. Let's keep that up. I hate to get too excited over one game. Just like you don't want to get too down when you lose to San Diego by 20. I don't want to get too up, taking out Cincy there. But that's a good sign. Winning against good teams is always a good sign. So now we got Presbyterian coming in. Another home game for us. So these are the kind of games that you can't drop. These are killers. To win a game like we just did against Cincy, you can't lose to Presbyterian at home. You just can't do it. So let's take care of our business here. 13-point win. Jolly, Duncan, and Kraft throwing down. Duncan with 20 and 6 rebounds again. Jolly dropped in 15 to help him out. So our backcourt really carried the scoring load there. And we dismissed Presbyterian. We avoid the bad loss at home. We're sitting at 3-1. We are rocking and rolling here in November. If I was looking at this schedule ahead of time, I'd have probably guessed 3-1 would be our record right now, because to me, both San Diego and Cincy were both about 50-50 games, so I think we won the one that would be slightly more surprising. I would have expected we would have beat San Diego on the road before Cincy at home, but you take what you can get. We're 3-1, baby. 3-1. Now we're headed on the road to play the Florida Gators. Well, they still call it the Swamp when it's basketball. I don't even know. It's a swamp in football, right? Anyway, SEC. Let's take them out. Let's go down there. Let's throw down the gauntlet, guys. Jolly, Duncan. Let's make it happen. Cornhuskers and the Gators on the hardwood. Oh, they beat us down. Haven Piper? Who is that? I don't even know who that guy is. Led us in points. It's not a real surprise to lose like that. You know, I try to get us a little bit hyped up, but not a surprise at all. All right, so 3-2. Once again, for the second year in a row, looking good at home and looking like trash on the road. And it's not at all unexpected with a team this young. I can take a look later on at our percentage of set plays versus kind of freewheeling plays. If we've learned the offenses well enough, maybe we move that a little bit more toward the set plays and see if it helps. But I don't know. We'll see. Still feeling pretty good, though. Still feeling pretty good. As long as we hold serve at home court and can squeak out one or two, here and there on the road, we will be all right. So we got a couple of ACC teams coming up. We got a kind of a interesting schedule here, and I know in the preseason we had a game against the number 6 team. I don't remember exactly who that was. That could have actually been Virginia, I think. They didn't. They could be ranked. It would be interesting to get some of those games at home and see if we can make something happen. Was that Elton Davis? All right, Bryant at home. Another game you can't drop. This is one you got to go out there, take care of your business, act like you've been there. Show up, play. Don't try to do too much. Just run your offense, guys. Hustle. Show them what Nebraska basketball is all about. Whew! They made it a close one, but a win is a win. As far as I'm concerned, when you look at somebody's resume in March, there are wins and there are losses, and there's nothing in between. So that was a win. I'll take it and go forward. But I would have really liked to play better against Bryant at home. So that's concerning. Not what you want to see happen. Certainly. But we got the win. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So sitting at 4-2, middle of December. So we're definitely on the right side of 500 so far. How that holds up once we get into conference play is anybody's guess, but we're on the right side of 500 so far. What kind of emails do we have here? More scouting reports? Yeah. All right. Ooh, Tennessee ranked. Nice ranked win on the road there for the Volunteers over the Golden Gophers. Another nice win for the SEC over the Big Ten. No games today. Is that Villanova? Did that say Villanova's number 1? I wonder how Tulane's going to end up faring this season. We'll take a look at Tulane when we get to the very end of the season. Again, whether that's tonight or whether that's on the next stream, it's TBD. This is going to be a beatdown. We're headed at number 2 Virginia Cavaliers. I don't know if Blaze is out there, but I think he's the one that's controlling Virginia and the NCBA. This is probably going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be just popcorn everywhere. They're probably going to burn us up. But the Cornhuskers and the Cavaliers, 26 points. That was pretty much the beatdown that I expected. So not a surprise. Drops us to 4-3, but what can you do, right? Now we got to go on the road to play Georgia Tech. Oh, this is a tournament. All right, so it should be a neutral court game against Georgia Tech here. So this should be interesting. I still think Georgia Tech's probably favored. They look like they're having a pretty good year, but neutral court, anything can happen in 40 minutes of college basketball. So be a helpful win for our resume. We scored 84, but we just couldn't get it done defensively. So we fall to Georgia Tech, dropping us to 500, and we eat an injury here to the freshman Devin Bulware. It's just a sore hand, though, so we're going to be all right there. So sitting at 4-4, we've had a bit of a brutal schedule, to be quite honest. Not a lot of gimmies at home. After the big win against UC, now things are tightening back up. So definitely still have our work cut out for us if we're going to hit that NIT, if we're going to improve school prestige, if we're going to finish above the top 50% in conference. So a lot to be determined here before we figure out the future of cards and Nebraska and whether I can keep this job or whether I'll be back out on the market. Let's find out. All right, so we got another road game. Our athletic director did us no favors this year. The thing is, we just have to hope that this team develops throughout the year. They learn the offense and the defense, and that they're ready to go when it comes conference tourney time, and when it comes whatever tournament that we end up in, because we're probably going to need some wins there to really solidify that 500 ranking. We could drop below 500 here. It wouldn't be a shock at all. VCU looking pretty good, and they take us down by 13. So still trying to figure out how to win on the road, the same exact issue that we had last year. And it's an issue for every young team. We're starting four sophomores and a freshman. 4 sophomores and a freshman. So, what can you really do with that? You're just going to eat road losses. Unless you landed 3 guys in the top 10, pull off one of these Duke-like recruiting classes. Otherwise, with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, you're probably going to be losing games on the road. So we can't be too upset about that. Let's take a look at the dashboard here. We got to have some hope, some kind of breathing room here in this non-conference schedule. This is ridiculous so far. No dice. We're done with non-conference. We're on to conference play. So the somewhat good news is it looks like Maryland is the only ranked team in the Big Ten here. So maybe that plays into our favor. Not so much when it comes tournament time, but as far as trying to get a 500 record, as far as trying to qualify for that NIT. So big game against an unranked Wisconsin squad here, and it's at home. So this is probably going to set the tone for how this season's going to play out. I'm not that excited about it. I think Wisconsin's probably a pretty good team. I don't think we're quite there yet, but last year we had a lot of big home wins that really propelled that season. So let's see if we can do it right out of the gate against the Badgers. 1 point. God, lost to them by 1. That's brutal. Cannot be doing that. So to get that 500 record at this point, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball because we've already lost at home. We still got to play number 16 at home, and then we got plenty of other home games against decent teams. We're gonna have to win on the road at some point. So here we go on the road at Illinois. Let's see if we can squeak one out here. We got to steal a couple. None of these road games do I expect a victory, but I do fully expect to steal one. We really need to steal 3. I think we'll play 9 on the road. So if we could steal at least 2, if not 3, that would be clutch. Not there. That's 31 points. Wow. The Illini, they really beat us down and hurt us early last year, and now again took us out. Crean talking about Jolly. That needs to be addressed. All right. So he's good to go. The injury to Trask, back spasms, he'll be all right. He's not playing a ton. Crosby's our starter there. Let's see what kind of percentage we're running set plays. 80%, that's too much. Jesus, why are we that high? We need to be like 65. That's totally my fault. That's too high on set plays for a team this young. Way too high. That can make the difference in a 1-point game like that. All right, but at least we got it fixed. We're still here in December. Far from over. Although we do need to pick up a win. We're on a bit of a losing streak here, and I think we're about to head on the road. Again. 4-7, that hurts. Still got the big win over UC though. We're still all right. 1 point against Wisconsin, that sucked. But it was more of an opportunity to pick up a game than, it's not like it's some kind of massive disappointment to me. We do need some of those surprising wins though. God, on the road again. Our schedule is doing us no favors at all. I don't think our athletic director likes me. Maybe that's why he's doing this to us. So right now I'm headed towards a pretty quick firing at the end of this year. So we've got to turn it around at some point. Let's see if we can do it here against Northwestern, please. Yes, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. All right, we won by 18 on the road at Northwestern. The bad news is someone got hurt, and it's Kevin Crean, the freshman. All right, so that's just a sore hand. Back spasm still over there. All right, so there's one of the three that we needed to steal on the road. I think I said we needed two. I would like to have three. But that's a good one to get. Northwestern, they didn't look like a bad team, and we took care of business there. So it shows we have the ability. It's just going to be, hit or miss as it's been. It's mostly just been miss all season. Now, this one, Penn State at home, is one you've got to win. So let's see if we can climb back to 500 in conference here with a home game against the Nittany Lions. Come on, Jolly. Come on, Crean. Shucking corn, baby. 34. 34-point win. That's exactly what you've got to do when Penn State comes to town. You take care of your business. And that's exactly what we did. So we're back to 500 in conference, and we're inching back towards 500 overall. We're so close. Nice win there at Northwestern was the real nice step. Penn State, you have to win that at home. See what we've got coming up next. All right, so headed to Rutgers. They're 3-1 in the Big Ten so far, 10-5 on the year. So they're looking like a decent team. It would probably take a pretty good effort for us to win this one. We're certainly not going to be favored, but anything can happen. The Lewis Brown Athletic Center I know Rutgers is in New Jersey. I can't remember what city they're in. So, can we steal another on the road? No, we cannot. Not even close. Kofi Williams, Kevin Crean, the usual suspects, played a good game, but Leonard Hart held scoreless. Yikes. Jolly, not a great game for him. So we lost one that we figured we were probably going to lose. No great surprise there. New Brunswick, New Jersey. All right, thank you for that random task. Appreciate it. So, terrible night for us in New Brunswick. But it went exactly as we figured it probably would. So we're 6-8, 2-3 in conference here coming toward the middle of January. It's definitely an uphill climb, but I'm telling you, I still think we can get there. Nothing's been decided yet. Our fate is not sealed. It's still a 50. It's still a toss-up. It could go either way. I mean, it'll become more clear as we go and as we go. So we lost to Nebraska by 1 at home. Let's see if we can find a way to split this season series playing in Madison. It's probably not going to happen. I would certainly think Wisconsin's probably a decent favorite here. They should win comfortably. Boom, boom, but that's what happens when you're shucking corn, baby. Michael Duncan, Kofi Williams, 7-point win. That's what happens. Yes, sir. So there's 2 big-time wins on the road in conference. You got to get that. So now we get to the point where we hold serve at home, and we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Whew, that feels good. Really makes me wish I would have had that damn strategy set correctly to begin with. But let's take a look here at the schedule. See what we're looking at. $14 games left. 8 of them are at home, which is good. The problem is, number 6 Maryland, that's going to be a tough one. And Illinois, they absolutely took us to school at Illinois, and they beat us at home last year. So they've definitely been an issue for us. And that's not to say, Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, those are traditional schools. Not a whole lot of gimmies here. So let's see. Oh, you're all good, Brees. So the majority of our easier opponents from here on out, honestly, are road games. So it'll be interesting to see just how this breaks down. I still think it's an absolute toss-up, absolute 50-50 what happens going down the stretch here. I'm cautiously optimistic. All right, so Michigan at home. Michigan's 11-4, 4-1 in the Big Ten. This is another toss-up. This was one of those home games. You certainly no gimme. Certainly no gimme just because we're at home. But it would be a very, very nice resume-building win if we could pull it off. Yes, sir. Dewan Jolly. Love to see that 7-point win at home against a good Michigan team. So we're back at 500, guys. We're above 500 in conference. That's a good win. That's a good win. Now Illinois is coming in. So we haven't beaten Illinois yet, I don't think. I don't remember my first year, to be honest. I know they beat us twice last year. They beat us at Illinois earlier this year. So we're due to kick Illinois' ass out of Pinnacle Bank Arena here tonight. Send them packing. Last year we had 3 huge home wins against ranked teams. We don't get a whole lot of opportunities this year. This one would feel good. We can't do it. Still can't get over the hump against the Illini. They beat us by 12 at home. So that hurts for sure. Again, not any kind of deal breaker, not anything that's crazy, but it was an opportunity. Look at Tulane, number 17, Jeremy Simmons doing work. These 2 guys are not my recruits, but Simmons certainly was. Every time we get a little bit of momentum, we fall back a little bit, but that's what happens as you're building a program. You just got to see if you can get across that bridge until your players get in and you get something to work with. Because when I got to Nebraska, there was 1 player on the entire roster that was decent, and everything else was hot trash. So, trying to completely rebuild. The board, we've asked for more time every year with the board. They've never been interested in hearing it. So if we don't get it done here in our 3rd year, we are definitely going to be fired. And now we've got to go to Maryland. This is virtually a guaranteed loss. The only question is the score. But it's probably the least winnable game on the entire schedule. So everything else should be more optimistic than this. They took care of business. 25 points. Michael Trask got himself hurt again. Maybe I should have just like rested my players for that one or something. I don't know. Let's see here. Trask has a sore knee. All right. Fair enough. All right, so we should have a chance in every game for the rest of the season. Sitting at 8-10, 4-5 in conference. Take a quick look at these conference standings, and then it's going to be a mad dash for the end. All right, so here we sit 4-5. Michigan State at 4-4. So we can definitely finish in the top 500 of this conference if we play it right. Like Purdue, we've played Penn State once. Purdue 0 times. Northwestern, we already been on the road against them. We get Minnesota at home. Haven't played Ohio State yet. I don't think we played Iowa. We've been playing these teams up here. We've been playing those teams up there. So let's see here how the back half of this schedule goes. More road games, but hopefully a little bit lighter competition. Not a lot. They're still Big Ten teams. They still got quality, but still cautiously optimistic, which I'll remain that way right up until I get the button that says I'm fired. So let's see. The Golden Gophers, the Cornhuskers. Oh, that's a bad loss at home. And as I recall, Minnesota beat us up last year, so that's a bad loss at home. That puts us behind the 8 ball for sure. I guess Attenborough seems like a heck of a player. He put in 34 against us. I'm pretty sure I remember the name from last year as well, so would rather not play them much more. But that one hurts for sure. Now we got to go out there and steal another one. At least one more. Maybe a couple more. No game today. All right, so January's over. Now it's February and March. If you're a college basketball coach, this is when you make your money. Get the save going into the new month. February is going to make or break us. February in year 3. This is where it all comes down to this. We got Purdue coming in. They're a bad team. We need to be winning home games anyway, especially against the bottom half of this conference. This is getting awfully close to must-win territory. We should take care of business right here. We have to. 16-point win. Jolly with 19. That's a heck of a scoring output from the sophomore point guard. So, survive in advance, baby. Survive in advance. Northwestern coming to play. Coming to play at our arena. Lincoln, Nebraska. Was it? It's not Allstate. I forget what our arena's called. All Financial, something or other. Pinnacle Bank. I was way off. Financial Bank, it's all the same. I had the arena part right. I don't know what more you can really want from me. So, Northwestern coming in. We got it done at their place. Now let's not let them return the favor. We need to take care, protect our home court, and dispatch a bad team. Yes, sir. 13 points. Crosby, Kraft, and Jolly getting it done. So, yeah, Pinnacle Bank Arena. That's where we're at. So, guys, I hate doing this to you, but seeing as how we're going for a little bit of an extra long stream, we're trying to get recruiting and playing the game. Oh, look at my boy Simmons in Tulane, 26 points. Seeing that I'm trying to get the recruiting and the entire season all through in one stream, I'm going to bring it to you, but I've got to run up. Y'all got to give me a 2-minute break. I'll be right back, I promise. All right, we're all refreshed. My bad. Get a bucket like Cartman. I don't know if I'm going that far. I don't know if I'm getting a bucket. But I had to. It's getting exciting now. We're 10-11. We're 6-6 in conference. It's coming down the home stretch. I didn't want to have anything distracting me. I needed to be refreshed. Got another refreshment. Good to go now. We're going to play this out. We're going to be in the tournament, baby. We're going to be in the tournament. All right. Let's see what we got coming. I think we can do it. The big thing, all right. Let me table that thought. We're headed into Ohio State. They look like a slightly below average team so far in conference. On the road, we're probably not favored, but at the very least, this is winnable. This is winnable. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for a win. Yeah, I'm getting excited too. I don't know if you can tell. This is about as excited. It's about as exciting as it gets. Because not only, it's not like you're not trying to save one season. You're not trying to win one tournament. You're trying to save your job and the entire thing you've been building for 3 or 4 seasons. So it's definitely exciting. Nebraska, Ohio State. Let's get to the tip-off. Can't get it done on the road. Duncan tried. Kofi Williams was all right. But Ohio State won pretty comfortably there. Not a shocker. Just a missed opportunity is all. Not a shocker. But anyway, what I was going to say is what's getting me nervous is we're really going to have to win some games in the postseason, because with the type of season we're having and the lack of really quality wins and that sort of thing, even if we go 500, even if we finish top half of the conference, I don't know how we improve prestige unless we have some wins in a tournament. Because they're certainly not doing anything in the regular season to improve prestige. Not that our prestige is high, but we're 10-12, So it's going to be huge, getting to 500, staying in the top half of the conference, and making the NIT. All 3 of those things. If we do all 3 of them, I'll keep the job. If we don't, it's going to be... It might be curtains for cards. Let's see, where's my boy at? Where's Simmons? Here he is. He's falling down a hair. All right. The next 4 or 5 games probably define this season. Man, oh man, we got to start it off with the Michigan State Spartans. Talk about a team you don't want to be facing when you're in a really tough spot, and a really it's just inching closer and closer and closer to must-win basketball time. They're having a decent season. We get the home court advantage. We need it. Here we go again. This is probably a 50-50 type game, but it's an opportunity, and we've got to get a handful of these opportunities. So we'll see what we got. The Cornhuskers and the Spartans. Woo! Look at DeJuan Jolly with 29 points. That's my boy. That's my point guard. What's the TO thing? That's my quarterback. That's my point guard, DeJuan Jolly. Love to see it. My man. 89-84. Taking advantage of the opportunity. Taking care of home court. Getting a big-time win over the Michigan State Spartans. Back to 7-7. Back to 11-12. Whew. Breath of fresh air. Fresh life. Now we're headed to Minnesota. Minnesota's already beaten us at home. Attenborough appears to be a beast. So maybe we can get him in foul trouble or something. If that's an option in the coaching things, just post up Attenborough and see if you can foul him out. I would definitely do that. But I don't really have that option here. So we're going to go up. We're going to do the best that we can. But Minnesota's favored here. And they take care of their business at home by 13 points. They win pretty comfortably. Post-game incident report. Kevin Crean mouthing off again. Dude, you gotta knock it off. You are the problem, man. Alright, so we had to suspend a player there. Let's fix our matrix. Wasn't like he was playing a ton of time, but not really the situation I want to be in right now. Quick look at the standings, see where we're at the moment. 7-8, just below 500 in conference. How many games do we have left now? We're getting close, folks. But look, we're only like a half place out of... we're at one game out of 4th. So, not a great record, but there's some real bottom feeders down here. If we can... This is still close. This is coming down to the wire. How many games we got left? The bad thing is we've still got Maryland at home, which is... They're favored there. At Penn State, that's an opportunity. Indiana at home. Every other game on the schedule is an opportunity. Maryland at home is pretty ugly. Well, I don't want to say pretty ugly. It's probably the game we have the least chance to win, but it's... You talk about opportunity-wise. I mean, that's a resume. Oh, look at that. The Michigan State game went to overtime. I didn't even see that. I don't think it tells you on that first screen. All right, we got 5 games left. 5 games left. One of them looks scary. The rest look like opportunities. You know, we win 3 out of the 5, and I think we're in a good place. So the first of 5 is on the road at Penn State. They're a bad, bad team, but we're a bad team on the road. So 1 out of 5 opportunities. Here's the first one. What can we do? What can we do? Let's go, folks. Please. God bless that's not the way we want to start this off. So we lost at Penn State by 4. And that puts us in an awful position. Absolutely brutal position. Look at Tulane doing work over there. They're looking good, my boys. 22-3. Like, I feel like I should just be able to walk into the athletic director and be like, look at what Tulane's doing. Like, I did that. Give me a minute here, bro. Give me a little bit of space. God, we've got some good wins, and it's just that loss at Penn State hurts so bad. So now there's no way around it. We've got a split coming down the stretch. At least. That puts us, below 500 on the season and in conference, but we get into the postseason. Maybe we can pull something out to get back to 500. I don't know if we can make the NIT or not, but even a split here might get us top half of the conference. It's looking rough. Yeah, I'm still renting. Random task. I haven't bought yet. I rent until I get through season 3. And if I don't get through season 3, there will be a lot of interesting jobs up on the market. So that'll be the thing, is my coach is getting progressively better and better. So, guys, I know this has been a bit of a longer stream than normal, but don't head out early just because it's looking ugly for us. Even if we lose out, even if we're getting 100% fired, don't leave, because we might be changing jobs tonight. I might need some input from chat to see where we end up. But before we get to that, we got the Indiana Hoosiers coming in. They're not a great team. We're on our home court. This is one. If we're going to have a shot, we got to win right here. Without a win right here, we're just probably looking at a new job, unless we make some kind of miraculous run in the tournament or something. We got to win here, or else the odds are stacked against us. Nice, 20-point win. Whew. Still in it, guys. Still in it. We're fighting. We're scratching. We're clawing. We need at least 1 more win. 2 more would be massive. Two more would be massive. This game. Okay, so here's a big one. It's absolutely brutal to lose at Penn State because they're an awful team. So that was a horrid loss. Now we got Purdue, and Purdue is a better team. but still not great. So this is still an opportunity. And the big thing here is our conference records are so similar. So, you're talking about tiebreakers and whatnot here. So the Cornhuskers and the Boilermakers, we would drop another opportunity there. 13-point loss. We will have the game with Maryland at home, and then we got one more road game. But it's crunch time, guys. We got to pull at least one more game out, period. 2 more. If we win 2 more, then it's back to toss-up territory. But if we can't win at least one of these 2, it will take a miracle to save our job. Just can't tell you how bad the home loss to Minnesota, the road loss to Penn State, and there was one other home loss that was just awful. But now we got Maryland coming in. Huge opportunity here for some redemption, honestly. This would be a signature win on our record. It would be huge for RPI when you're talking about trying to make that NIT tournament. And if we want a shot at 500 in the top half of the conference, you got to get a conference win somewhere, guys. It might as well be at home against the Terrapins. Number 5, Maryland, coming into Lincoln, Nebraska for a showdown on Wednesday, the 1st of March, 2034. And we got them! Woo! Where's that Ric Flair? Woo! Haven Piper, my boy out of nowhere. Never heard of the guy. We got him! Big win. That's a big one. Let's take a look at the standings now. Woo! Nice. So we're 9-10. And look, Indiana's right here. See, Purdue's right here. Had we got Purdue, even if we were 9-10, they'd be 8-11, which would have been huge. I would have much rather beat Purdue than Maryland there as far as conference standings. But we've got a chance here to get back to 10-10 in conference. And, we should win the tiebreaker against IU, I think, and lose to Purdue. I'm not sure. Let's take a look here at the dashboard. What do we have? Last game, right? At the Iowa Hawkeyes. Win here, and we're back to toss-up territory. A loss here is we're really on the wrong side of things. So that's the thing. You lose a couple of games you shouldn't have, and even a massive win like that against Maryland, which at this point, that was season-saving. Not that it makes the season a success, but it prevented it from being a failure. But now we got to go on the road and play the Hawkeyes. And this is, still just it's a do or die time, guys. Because you got to figure, if we lose here, we're losing 18 games. So to win 5 in the postseason would be a definite stretch. We need this win fiercely. Carver Hawkeye Arena, the Cornhuskers, and the Hawkeyes. There's a lot going on right here. A whole lot going on right here. It's not over, but the fat lady's warming up. I'm walking around the office asking people hey, you got extra boxes? You got extra boxes? Can you hook me up with some boxes? So, no, if they made an update, I haven't been on the boards lately. I'm playing whatever I had last time. And collecting boxes. Breeze, if you got any boxes, send them to me. I would imagine that we're going to need them real soon. I think that our time in Nebraska, I thought it was over last season. I'm virtually certain it's over this season. What a shame. We've got them so set up for success. So set up for success. And we're just not going to make it. It wasn't like the expectations were all that high. We came in here and had nothing to work with. I need boxes to pack my shit because we're going to get fired. So I need boxes of nothing, like cardboard boxes that I can pack up my house and my desk and everything else and go somewhere else. But hang around, chat, guys. I guarantee, unless we make some kind of run in the tournament and crazy come out of nowhere, save our jobs, we're probably about 10, 15 minutes away from picking a new job here. So I'm going to need some voices in chat to help direct me. I know Chris is unavailable tonight. Look at this. We don't even get to play in the first round to pick up an easy win. One more year, and I had this. All right, so now we get IU, which on a neutral court is totally a toss-up. So disappointed. Man, we had such good moments in this season. Just couldn't quite make it happen. Ooh, Northwestern got Michigan. And IU beat us. It's over. Yeah, we lost there. We won't make the NIT. We won't be 500. We're not increasing prestige. We're going to miss every goal again. I don't know if we got top 500 in the conference, but it doesn't matter. That's all she wrote. They gave us no upperclassmen to work with. This entire team was being run by sophomores with one freshman. Wonder if Tulane needs a coach. Oh, Lord. I just cannot believe how bad that team was when we took them over. God, I don't know if we'll make any postseason tournament. For real. Kevin Crean mouthing off again. Sorry if that was loud. I know sometimes that studio music is loud. So we can watch the show, see what happens. Pretty disappointed right now. Definitely see the writing on the wall. Oh, there's my boys at Northern. Wisconsin made the tournament at 19-14. Purdue made it at 15-15. Villanova, Virginia, UNLV, and Kansas State. Minnesota at 21-13. Bama, Maryland, Tennessee, St. Mary's, and UK. There's Tulane with a 2 seed. Illinois with a 4. All right. So let's see if we even made a postseason tournament. We may not have. No, we did not. No postseason tournament. So honestly, I don't really have the energy to walk you through this tournament right now. I'm going to sim the season, wait to get fired, and see what the new job is going to be set up so that Chris can go ahead and get a jump start on making us a new graphic. Funny thing is, we'll get a better job. So we'll figure out what job we're getting. We'll head through the off season. We'll take a look at the roster that we're going to be working with next time. It's going to be funny to watch, though, because just like Tulane's doing right now, like Nebraska's going to start creeping into the NCAA tournament here in either next year or the year after. Ooh, look at UK sneaking by the Zags. It's a Final Four game right there. Arizona took... So Wildcats on Wildcats. And the Arizona Wildcats take home the national championship game. Yeah, we're still going to make a run here. No more shucking corn for us. Let's see. In the entire association, so we've got Nova, Zona, Elon pulls in the Defensive Player of the Year. Barry Day from Florida, Freshman of the Year. and Nova's Fred Hoiberg. So there's your first team All-Americans. I told you Attenborough was a player. Here's your second team All-Americans. Sorry, I got something flying around me. Take a look here at the Big Ten. Those are your second teamers. Another Minnesota player. Here's your first teamers, Attenborough, obviously. And the individual awards, Attenborough all over it. All right. Yeah, mascot and how easy it is to make a slogan. That's true. I need a catchphrase everywhere. We got to find the right mascot that we can get the right, the green wave was obviously good. Shuck and corn didn't work out for us. The rattler hiss was hit or miss. Oh, we're very much unemployed now. 45 years old. With 78 in the offense, 93 at player development, 74 at scouting, 84 recruiting, and 91 defensive skills. Got a kid sneaking down here, I think. All right, so there is the official time to get fired. Failed at everything. Prestige actually stayed the same, but it still gives us the failure thing, whatever. And now we got coaching jobs available. So, chat, it's time to take a look. We're going to sort by head coaching jobs only. And here's what we're looking at. Texas Tech. All right. Some interesting jobs. Ooh. Let's think about this. Yeah, Auburn's not bad. I mean, it kind of depends on what... obviously, it very much depends on what kind of players are already there, right? The good news is none of these are on probation. Auburn's certainly not bad. It gets us back into the Southeast. It gets us back into recruiting Florida, probably. Their facilities look great. Their academics aren't terrible. Colorado is somewhat interesting, but I think Breeze or somebody already got this. DePaul... Yeah, DePaul is a mid-tier conference in the... You're right. The problem there is those other Big East schools, like, you don't think about it, but they're all so prestigious. That conference is, like, full of Villanova and Georgetown and Marquette. God, who else is in that Big East conference? Let's see. Can we sort it by conference? So when you look at the Big East conference... Butler with 4 stars, Creighton 4 stars. Here's DePaul. Everybody else, DePaul's a 2. There's 2 schools at 3, and everybody else is 3.5 or better. So you are the worst of the worst with bad facilities and academics. That's an impossible job. Absolutely impossible. I'm just looking for whatever is going to bring us, I don't know, good content, I guess. I don't know. Utah Utes, I can't make any kind of mascot thing out of that. Auburn Tigers, I don't know what I can do there. Although maybe that'll go good with our Bengal Tigers. I don't know. All right, Mississippi State and Missouri are both also in the SEC, but they both have worse facilities and worse prestige. They would probably have easier goals to meet. I'm fine with a challenge. It's just, I would like something realistic. I would like to actually build something. I thought we were going to be able to hang tight at Nebraska and actually build, and it just Like their roster was so barren of talent, we couldn't do anything with them. SMU and the American. Now, the other one here that's actually pretty interesting, to be quite honest, is New Mexico State in the WAC. I don't know how I overlooked them going through this list of schools. I've played with New Mexico State in the past. Had a whole lot of fun with them, built them pretty good. The WAC's not terribly tough. They're one of the more prestigious schools in that conference. South Florida, part of it for me is superficial as it is just the colors. And I'm kind of like, if I was okay being a green team, I would have probably just stayed at Tulane. But for whatever reason, that color green, I can't do it. I just can't. I'm down. So I would be willing to do Auburn, Colorado, New Mexico State, or Utah. I think of the four that I'm down to. And I'm really leaning towards either going to Auburn and trying to take over the SEC, or going to New Mexico State and just building a powerhouse in the WAC. Let's take another look. Let's see who's in that WAC. So yeah, like there's nothing out here in the WAC. Absolute trash. You're by far the best school. I would probably be by far the best head coach. So that's certainly a place where we could set up and be good for a while period. Not have to worry about things. The problem there is the same problem, actually a worse problem than what we had at Tulane, because out there, like, how do you gain prestige in that conference? What would you guys rather see, Auburn or New Mexico State? Was Auburn and Alabama? What were we thinking in chat? Random Task, Breeze, y'all are the only two really chatting. Do y'all have a preference? Let me message Chris, see if he's alive. See if Chris wants to chime in. You're going to New Mexico State. I'm actually, oh man, I don't know if I'm leaning either way. They both have good qualities. They really, truly do. Breeze, you got an opinion? Breeze is going to Auburn. Random's going to New Mexico State. You think it'll be more rewarding than Auburn? I think Auburn would be a little bit tougher because of the competition. Man, I don't know. An adventure to get recruits. That's true. Auburn's made less appearances in the tourney than New Mexico State. We could be like, what the history of Auburn basketball? What do they got? Charles Barkley. That's it, right? And when you talk about the SEC, but the facilities and academics with Auburn are great. And the B- and C- at New Mexico State, neither one of those are really great. But the thing is, like, the competition, we should just drill that conference, theoretically. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Well, shoot. I don't know. I wish Chris would respond. I tried to message him on Discord. He's not responding right now. What do we want to do? Such a decision. Here's the thing, and here's what's going to make me... facilities are alright to improve. If as you gain prestige, you can get those facilities up and up and up for sure. Like, man, there's so much good about both of them. Like, going to Auburn, I'd have the chance to beat UK every year. Love to hear that. The conference has got good prestige, so you can recruit on that. It's in the right region. The Southeast has got so much talent. The facilities are really strong. Man. It's such a tough call. But the other thing is, at New Mexico State, like, I could go out there and just park myself. I'm happy it's not some ugly green color that I couldn't deal with. Like, I could just stay there. I think their mascot is like some... no, is it New Mexico State? Wait, are they the Aggies or the Lobos? You know what? Here's the thing, and here's what it's going to come down to. As much as I would like to start something and get it going like I wanted to have at Nebraska, like I should have had there, I want something that's going to be steady. And so New Mexico State, I feel like I can go there and just be steady. But there's no drama in it. There's no drama. There's nothing exciting. There's no competition. We know we go to New Mexico State, we land that first class of recruits, we're coasting through that conference, and then it's all just about non-conference play and tournament time. And that's it. I'm not getting fired from there. Let's go to Auburn. Let's make it fun. Let's make it exciting. What is it? I don't know if I can do a tiger roar, though. I can't do a tiger roar. But you know what I can do? They went 13-18, 6-12 in conference with 54 prestige. Well, New Mexico State's probably close, 47. So prestige-wise, they're actually a lot closer than they look. Look how terrible they did. There's no reason for that. We go pow pow. Auburn seems more exciting though, right? All right, Chris has chimed in. It's Auburn, guys. It's Auburn. And we don't have to, we had a shucking corn. But with Auburn, it's easy. Like, I'm not roaring at a camera. But everybody knows. Most famous basketball player in Auburn history. What'd he say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's all we got to say. That's our motto at Auburn. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We're going Auburn. Very happy to welcome us. Let us advance. Yeah, those three were all interested, and I mentioned those. But there were reasons to go other places. Utah. Exactly. There were cases to be made for several of those. Holy crap. Okay, now at Nebraska, we had nothing. Look at this roster. Look at Alloway, straight up 5 stars. Richard Marshall, a 3.5-star freshman. Another 3.5-star junior here. This team has players. Look, Alloway, 23rd nationally, SEC second teamer. Okay. Now, the problem is they've been running a 5-out. I'm not crazy about that. Shuffle, I can go for that. They've been running a little triangle. Let's see what else we got. Here. Little shuffle, little triangle, little 5-out. I'm not crazy about the 5-out. It sort of assumes shooters. I think maybe we'll go shuffle, 5-out, triangle the first season and slowly like bring along that triangle and phase out the 5-out offense. But look at this roster, guys. We can work with this. Now, you always get the job when you apply. Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind the walk-ons. They're all better than what we had at Nebraska. That's the main thing. Like, this is a roster we can do things with. The only problem, I guess, would potentially be expectations. And these are mostly the same with the exception of the NCAA tournament. I mean, top half of the conference and finish above 500. If we can't do that with this roster, we've probably have issues. So I think that we can probably pull that off. Yeah, I think we can pull that off. And as long as you're pulling off 2 out of 4, you can tread water until your players get in. And I think we can do that. I think we're going to make it happen here. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We're going to make it happen at Auburn. All right, so we got some staff hiring. Let's take a quick look at our staff. Oh, we also need to take a look at our... we'll see what we have here. Paying this guy $67 a year to scout. $46 a year to recruit, and your recruiting is trash. Get out. Get out. I'll totally remake this staff. Let's go see what kind of budget we got here. 231. That's a solid budget. So yeah, in their history, they're just barely over 500. No national championships. 3 conference championships. 16 appearances in the tournament. Only 5 times to the Sweet 16 and only once in the Final Four. So, we can definitely turn this program around. I'm loving this decision, actually. I think this was the right decision. I think we'll have a little bit of drama. We got some nice-looking players, for sure. Ed Cooley's the head coach at Cincy. He's making $1 million a year. Why is he on this list? All right, so coach hiring. This one looks like a good first assistant. We got $230,000. Let's offer him like 80. Yeah, 85. So for this guy, like, oh, hold on. This guy, like, 60. Yeah, it would be interesting to see that other roster and what we missed out on. That's certainly true. And Butler, wow, he's still looking for a lot of money. OJ Butler will give you $40,000 over 3 years. Run that round. See if we can land these guys. We're really setting up here, guys. We're setting up this new team. We're running in on 2 hours. All right, so we got our first assistant. That's big. We got our third assistant. We did not get our second assistant. So Tom Harrion. And it looks like he just went elsewhere. Yikes. So quite a big drop off all the way down to here to Ricky Johns. We'll offer him 45. Not really crazy about anything down here, but the recruiter is the main one, and then after that it's just about making sure you're not wasting money. He got the assistant number 1 gig at South Florida. Interesting. South Florida's giving that dude first assistant money. All right. All right. Chris Davis. There we go. Got that coaching staff straightened out. Let's jump down. Oh, not the practice plan. Not the practice plan. That's not what we want to set up. We want to set up assigning the coaches. So, Pesternek is our recruiter. Davis is the practice coach, and Butler is the scout. Save it. Let's get over here to our practice plan. So, what we talked about doing was phasing out the 5-out. We'll still practice it some because we're going to run it this year. Let's bounce it up to 10. The triangle, we're going to bounce it up to 10. And we'll leave the shuffle. So we'll phase ourselves into a shuffle and triangle type of offense as far as defense goes. Now look at this. Why are you spending 10% of your practice time on a 1-2-2 zone and running it 1% of the time? I don't really care what zone defense I run as long as I pick one of them. And I don't run a full court press long enough to merit that much practice time. But I do want 10% on all three of these. So it gives us 15 on shuffle, 10 on triangle, and then 10 on 5-out. Eventually, we'll pull that out and up both of these. For now, we're going to take it off of here to make sure that we are increasing our proficiency at the triangle. Save those changes. Strategy-wise. Oh, Jesus. No. 0. Zero all that up. All right. So strategy-wise, what we'll do is run 40, 20, 40. Balanced with 70%, 90% man, 10% zone. All right, that'll work strategy-wise. Advance past the staff hiring. Finish in advance. Cool. We're gonna have these Tigers set up, boy, and outside of guard, like, oh, they're looking good. I honestly just want to get into next season and see what that Nebraska recruiting class looked like. I know neither of them were recruited, or neither of them were ranked all that high. I don't know. Maybe the shooting guard being, like a Georgia all-star camp guy and being ranked outside like the top 300. Maybe that hurts him. I still think he's a good player. But I think that's like a top 40 recruiting class. Now, Auburn is going to have problems here next year because they need some guards. Maybe I can play Alloway 6'8". Shoot. I don't know what I do here at guard. Maybe I just go heavy inside. Petition the board. What do we want here? We've got everything. We want more money. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We got to have money to cheat. Increase that budget, baby. Yes, no, maybe so. Denied. All right, that was the end of the season. So we got through a full season tonight in 2 hours. That was definitely facilitated by a quick recruiting period. And the shame is we landed both our recruits and then immediately proceeded to get ourselves fired, which wasn't all that surprising, but I did have hope. I feel like we were like maybe 3 games away from saving our job, but we lost the wrong 3 games, and so it doesn't matter. We should have a fighting chance, though, here at Auburn. And this would be a real nice place to set up shop. The prestige is middling, so we can go out there and get our foot in the door with some recruits. The facilities look nice. The SEC, there's a couple powerhouses that are definitely going to be above us, but it's certainly the type of conference you can compete in. And you can't argue walking into a roster like this. Like the Nebraska roster that we walked into is nightmare scenario for a new coach. There's one player out of 13 scholarships that knows how to dribble a basketball, and the rest of them are glorified water boys. This roster has like 4 or 5 guys straight out of the gate that can play. You got a 5-star small forward. He's a junior, and he was a top 25 recruit, but he's the kind of guy, he could stay around theoretically for another year. He may leave. A couple of these guys, though, are going to stay around. I don't know exactly which ones it'll be. Hopefully it's all of them, but a couple of them are going to come back and mesh in with whatever recruiting class we decide to pull in here. So let's see what we got. We're going to have 6 scholarships open next year, so really we're building this team right out of the gate. After our assistant coaches get paid, we've still got $60,000 to recruit with. I would really like to keep this for this many scholarships. We definitely need to stay above 40, so we can't spend much. This is probably going to be just a basic report in the Southeast, trip to the Southeast camp and one of the national camps. I don't know which one yet. Recruit class rankings. First of all, let's scroll through and see where Auburn is. We are 55th. So let's see where that Nebraska class ended up. Ooh, I really thought that'd be top 40. They must be getting crushed for their rankings. They're better than the rankings going to end up showing. There were only 2 in it, and granted, the one was pretty low. And if you see it, just shout it out. There they are, 121. So, relatively low, but I think that's because of, we took a shot on the one guy from the Georgia camp, and then we had just the 2 scholarships to offer. So, let's go buy some reports. We're going to stick in the Southeast. See what AI suggests. I always like to see what they suggest and see if it matches up. In this case, it certainly does. Yeah, 121. Transfers. All right, I always skip that, as you well know. We're riding this right into June 26th. Just need to decide which camp to go to. Whether I should go to Indy Elite or East Coast Jams or Georgia. I feel like East Coast Jam is probably the sweet spot. Like Indy, those guys, you're going to know whether they're... Well, I don't know. Let's go to Indy. Let's go to Indy. I was going to say you know whether those guys are good or not, but actually you don't. So we're going to go there and find out. So we're going to get like 200 players, right? Oh, 100. So we're getting the top 100 players here. Ideally, that's our recruiting pool. So we're getting this for, that takes us to 51. So we'll still have 47,000. What's AI suggest? No. What are you talking about? We're not going to Chicago. We're not going to Houston. We're not going there. We're going here. AI's crazy. That's why they're losing. Man, I'm so disappointed, guys, that we couldn't turn Nebraska around quick enough to save that job. But looking at this, I think this roster is set up in a way. There's really no excuse if we can't pull this one off. It might not be easy. But we've got nothing at guard. The only thing we've even got that sort of resembles a guard is Sherman Williams, painting specialist over here, ranked a 2-star senior. Shooting guard, 1 scholarship senior, 1 scholarship freshman that should be kicked off the team. This guy should be kicked off the team too. It just looks so ugly, but you can't kick guys off because we're about to have to bring in 6. We're losing 6. Losing both these. Losing this small forward. Oh, Allaway is a senior. Shoot. I forgot about that. A handful of those guys we were looking at last year. One of them left, right? One or two of them. So now all of the talent, both these centers and this small forward, they're all seniors. So they're all going to be gone. We're replacing all of that. But this basically gives us a one-season cushion of having decent play on the inside while we try to completely revamp. Because outside the senior class, let's see. Junior class has one player, this dude. Not looking great. Sophomore class has this dude and this one. So not looking great. And the freshman, you see, this is what I'm talking about. How's this class? A half-star guy, and a one-star guy. How is that like top 40 or whatever, and Nebraska's 121? I guarantee you those two Nebraska players are better than any of these chumps that Auburn brought in. So I have no idea how this class was ranked so high, but something wrong with that. But anyway, we get a one-season cushion here because we do have some really, really talented seniors. So we've got a chance to get through this one, bring in our guys next season, and then hopefully we bounce back relatively quickly. We got higher prestige at the school. Our coach is a couple years better as far as his talent goes. I don't remember exactly what our staff looked like. Hopefully we made a little bit of an improvement there. Last thing we're going to look at tonight's stream is to see if our boy Simmons from Tulane, I don't know if he went pro or not. We're going to see if anyone from Tulane or Nebraska, I guess. There we go. Brian Cole got drafted at 22. He was one of my recruits. And he looks like he's going to be the only one. So Simmons must have stayed around for his senior year. So looking good for him. If we take a look real quick here, I don't think that those players that I recruited getting drafted really count. No. Still, the only one was the one from Tulane the 1 year. All right, guys. That's the stream. I wanted to bring you some Cornhuskers. I wanted to get something happening. We just fell short. We couldn't quite get over that hump, but now I feel pretty good. This is where we're going to be for the rest of this stream. Chris, get the graphics ready. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. If you want to put that up in quotes, that's what we're doing here. But Auburn Tigers, baby, SEC basketball. We'll see what happens. But I'm really glad you guys stopped by, and I had a great time. I hope y'all did too. This cards, I'll get back to you as soon as possible, but I will definitely catch y'all next time.